Hey, kids, and welcome to our podcast.
Where it's just two girls just talking about being bros.
Honestly.
Welcome back.
New week, new us.
Welcome back to the city, some would say, Roxanne.
Yeah, to the country.
To the country.
Some would even say as well.
Some would even say that's correct.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
You're welcome.
Nice and cold now, and lots of snow.
Yeah.
So
I said, hey, they're coming back. Make sure that it's record-breaking negative temperatures and lots of snow. You know?
Literally on my walk over today, my eyelashes, because the sun and the wind combination makes my eyes cry.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so obviously, like, I had tears in my eyelashes, and literally they were freezing. And I had little balls of ice that I had to pick off. So it kind of ruined my mascara. So that's what I'm more upset about than anything. But, you know, tip for tat, baby. And we had a nice big snowstorm on Sunday. So tons of fun all year round, baby. But before we get into my week, well, how was your week in this big city? The cold city.
My week was so crazy, Roxanne. You wouldn't believe everything I got up to. It was just absolutely nuts. Just kidding. I think I literally, in that whole week you were gone, I think I went out of my house once.
Nice.
Because, like, dance practice got canceled twice. So that is usually why I get out of the house. That didn't happen. I did go to a boot camp, training, whatever, sesh. So I did move.
Yeah.
Did move once. And then I went one day to the Museum of Illusions.
Nice. What's that?
So, see, I thought it was going to be, like, I knew it was going to have, like, optical illusion, like, type, you know, things. And, like, you know, when you take, like, those pictures, like, one makes you look big, one makes you look small, but it's, like, a flat, like, that kind of thing. And I was expecting, like, it'd be, like, a bunch of, like, you could take cool pictures with, like, illusions. But I thought there'd be, like, a little bit more stuff to make it, like, a museum kind of thing. And it was still nice, but it was basically just, like, a place to take photos. Like, it was just basically, like, a bunch of rooms with, like, different whatever things to make it optical illusions, and then you go to each and take a picture. So, like, it was nice. I don't know if I would, like, fully recommend it to anyone unless you're, like, down for, like, a photo op. But yeah, it was all right.
Nice. Did you get any 6 shots?
A couple. I got a couple.
Oh, you're a new GP.
shots.
Let me see the full thing. I asked you for it, and
I'll put it on screen. Oh.
She said. I'm kidding.
I thought you meant, like, I didn't know you wanted it right then. I was like,
when? I don't
know. I thought,
if
like,
not when when?
When I see you in person, I'll show you it. I didn't know you wanted a copy. I could send a copy.
That's cool. Oh, that's nice. I like it.
Yeah,
that's sick.
I'll put it on screen. It was like it had 3 different colored lights at you, but it somehow, like, reflected 3 shadows of yourself in the different colors.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Nice.
Yeah, that was one of the cooler rooms.
Did you take any other pics?
A couple.
Oh, you got a new case.
Oh yeah. It's crazy.
I never leave my house, didn't do anything cool. You got a whole new phone case.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Let's see.
Well, I don't know if I want to. No. I don't know if I want to admit from where it's from. And the package came to my door.
I was looking at your photo. Wait, I want to see your photos.
Okay, live reaction. This one.
You saw all my photos. I posted them on Instagram.
That's true. Yeah.
So.
Okay, this one is me playing cards with a bunch of myself.
Nice.
You know, no one better to play with than yourself.
Who won?
Me.
Me.
This one you could sit, and then if you flip your camera or you edit it to look like you're upside down, it's like you're upside down but right side up kind of thing. So, like, this is without the edit. That's without the edit.
Oh, I understand.
And then when you edit it, it's like you're hanging upside down. So silly. There was a chair one. So I looked really small, and then the person standing where they had to stand on the marker looked really big.
Yeah.
And then, there was one where I could become dinner.
A fool. He has a picture.
I know. Yeah. He didn't take it right, but I was like, that's okay. I don't need this.
That's the best one.
Nah.
I don't need this. When are you gonna get to do that again?
But I'm going to be the snack. There was supposed to be to see if when you do that thing on TikTok when you that filter see if you're perfectly symmetrical.
Yeah.
So, like, there was, like, that kind of.
Oh, nice.
Am I perfectly symmetrical? Leave a comment.
The angle's wrong.
Yeah. But, like, I didn't get this one because, like, you couldn't.
Because you have to stand at the right angle.
Yeah, but, like, the way it was, this one didn't really make sense. We couldn't figure this one out. But I'm sure. I guess if we did find, but, like, I feel like there wasn't a right angle. Oh, and the big small one. It's the most unflattering picture of me ever, though.
No, I don't think so.
And where's the one I'm tiny? That's just my regular height.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I don't know if that one is all much of an optical illusion as much as it's just the truth. Was that in Toronto? Where is this thing?
Oh yeah. We traveled.
I don't know. I just can't imagine Toronto having
something. That's what I said too. That's what I thought too, because I only thought this was in New York or something.
Pop-up or something?
I don't know if it's. I think it might be a pop-up. It's on Front near St. Lawrence Market. It's like really random location.
Is it where the Happy Place used to be?
I think so.
Okay, so
but I think Happy Place was closer to the lake, so this one was like up on Front.
Oh. Okay.
So like one up. What is that, perpendicular?
I don't know what you're trying to get.
Like.
At.
You know, like two streets are this way?
Parallel? Okay. Close.
She was close. But yeah, I think the same, like the same direction, but parallel to each other.
Okay, so.
But yeah, I
was like, I feel like we would have known if there was a museum.
Yeah, that's why I never knew it was in Toronto, because I've heard of Museum of Illusions, but I always thought like it was in like, I don't know, like Chicago or New York or somewhere. I feel like I've heard, I don't know, maybe I'm just totally mixing everything up, but I was surprised to hear that was in Toronto. But yeah, not too bad. Mainly just a place to take photos. Wasn't really too much stuff. You know what they had there?
What?
That I feel like we did this in. It triggered me. I had a vague memory of us doing it in elementary school. But remember those? There's like 7 shapes, and you have to make it into a square.
What?
There's like 7 shapes. There's like a couple of triangles, a square. Remember I feel like we did these.
Oh yeah, like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah, and you have to make it into a square. Mm-hmm. And I remember doing this in elementary school. We had like the flat. Like, I forget what they're called. Dang it. I want to say, like, I know it mammograms, but I know that's a test for, like,
breast cancer.
Yeah. But, you know, oh my God, I was going to kill me what they're called, but we played with them in, like, elementary school, but they had, whatever. But they had, like, a block version that you could try to make into, like, a cube or square or whatever.
Oh,
couldn't get it. But then it reminded me that we did that in elementary school. That was, like, an unlocked memory deep in there.
I could see it.
But yeah, I think that's literally like. Oh, and then I went to IKEA one day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you buy anything?
I bought a dresser.
Nice.
Yeah.
A new one?
A new one.
Are you getting rid of the one upstairs?
I got rid of my trunk. If you remember my trunk.
Oh,
behind my
no
bed.
way.
Yeah. Okay. My mom was so sad.
Yeah.
And upset. And
that trunk is iconic. You got rid of it?
Well, it's right there.
Keep it there.
We'll
keep our tech in there.
In my room. Okay. I have a little bit of a shopping issue. Okay, we know that. B, the closet space in my room is very minimal to like the point where I had to get like an arm
but
wire.
Your dad uses it too. So like...
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's all mine.
Fair. Okay.
But like the way it's organized is so badly organized, and I've always wanted to do like a closet, like, you know, to make it more efficient, like get rid of the stupid sliding doors and just get like the organizers and stuff like that. But that's like a long-term project because the kitchen has to be done first, which is fair, but my family works very slow. But anyways, so my closet space limited. So I had like a huge like container of like pants under my bed, and then I have a bunch of pants behind my like door. There's a whole box of like long sleeves, a box of like fleece sweaters, and it was just like there's too much stuff all around my room. Mm-hmm. And like it just, I don't know. Last Saturday, I was like, this is annoying me. I need to do something about it. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, hey, I have this trunk in my room, and in the trunk is like just a bunch of like keepsake baby clothes, keepsake, I don't know, like my grade 8 grad stuff, yearbooks, like stuff like whatever, keepsake stuff. And I'm like, I never open that. I never touch it. It's just kind of wasting space. Why don't I take everything that's in there, move it into storage in like my furnace room and get like a dresser there? So I wrapped my head around it and I was like, I'm going to do it. I don't care. My mom was very upset that I didn't want my trunk, but like I have no attachment to like.
Oh no, that's fine. Like I understand that.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that, like, if you don't use the stuff, but, like, I thought you were, like, getting rid of it.
Oh.
You're keeping it downstairs, right?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think that's the honorable thing
I just
to do.
dump all the stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I thought you were getting rid of all of it and the trunk. And I was like, whoa.
No.
It's a useful trunk.
No. Yeah. So I just moved it out of my room, got a dresser.
Nice.
And then,
is it up there already?
Yeah, I can show you after, yeah. And, I mean, like, it barely helped. I mean, it got rid of all the pants under my bed and, like, all the long sleeve bin. But, like...
Did you put it where the trunk used to be?
Yeah, but like not that way, like against my wall. So it fits perfect.
Put it much smaller.
Yeah, it's so small, like it barely fits.
Why didn't
anything.
You just rearrange your room?
It can't.
You can.
There's nothing.
If you put your bed against the wall, and then you move your armoire there, I'm sure you could have done it.
Like push
we'll
it
do
further?
the math later. No. If you should, because right now you have your bed like this
against the wall.
Yeah, but if you turn it this way, that
it won't fit.
Why not?
Because of the window, and then it covers the heating, the
covers
vents,
okay,
yeah.
That makes sense.
And apparently you can't put wood on the vents.
Can't put anything on the vents.
Yeah, especially wood, because the vents ruin the wood. That was my mom's main concern.
Oh, okay.
Versus ruining the vents.
It's like bad for air circulation, isn't it?
Yeah, and like it'd be blowing dust everywhere. So made a little fix. So that's pretty much. That's literally and then one day I went. I saw on TikTok. I'm scrolling, and I see Uniqlo has a Lunar New Year shirt, and on it, because this year's the year of the rabbit. And I think we were talking about this on the podcast, but I always thought it was the year of a rabbit, and then like literally 2 years ago we discovered I'm the year of the tiger because I'm born January 9th, before Lunar New Year. So I fall into the 1998 category, basically. So the Lunar New Year shirt had like a rabbit, and then it had little tigers like welcoming it into the new year. And I was like, I need that because like I'm kind of both. Like, even though, you know what I mean? Like I always thought it was both. So I had this whole mission, and I saw that the TikTok, it was at the Eden Center one. And then so I was like, hey mom, let's go to the Eden Center tonight. She wasn't too happy about that because it was a random Tuesday, and I had it set in my head I was getting this shirt. It was a $4 t-shirt. Yeah, I know, but it had to happen. So yeah, I literally went downtown to get a shirt, went to the Museum of Illusions, and went to IKEA. That's pretty much it. All the other days I literally stayed home and worked. Didn't leave my house.
It's fair. I mean, it was cold and snowy.
Exactly.
So it wasn't really peak season.
Yeah.
We're going out, you know, if I'm being honest.
A victory wrap up of her week and a half.
Nice. What about this week? This week's over. No.
Yeah, same thing.
Nothing?
I don't think I left my house on Monday.
Well, we went to dancing.
Oh, I went to dancing and I went to a boot camp session.
Oh, yeah? How'd that go?
All right.
What are you lifting these days?
Working on my core.
Your core, nice.
Yeah.
How's that going?
All right. There's just one move for me. It's so hard. I don't know if it's hard for anyone else, but it's very hard for me. But you see the yoga ball?
Yeah.
You put your elbow, like you go like this on it, you like lean on it, and like you get in like a high plank position kind of. Yeah. And then you have to like rotate your arms. It's so hard.
Yeah, that sounds really hard.
Yeah, it's so hard to balance.
Core stuff is awful.
Yeah, I almost literally took a wipeout yesterday.
Do you do it at home, or she has a yoga ball?
No, she has a yoga ball too, yeah. But I tried to do it at home.
How'd that go?
Not good. I need someone to stabilize it for me.
Fair. You know.
Lesson learned. So yeah, I've just been staying in. I'm someone who hates the winter, hates the cold. I hate how it gets dark so early. It is really I want to like try to get outside for at least like 10 minutes to see the sunlight, because it's really starting to like affect me, but I just can never. I'm so busy at work during the day that I can never even like step out. And it's the saddest thing being in meetings and like having the sun like beam on you, and then the second you're done work, it's already dark, and it's like, well, I'm not going outside in the dark, in the cold, in the snow.
Yeah, there's no point of that.
Yeah, so it's just this. I'm in this like cycle, and I'm like, oh, it needs to start getting lighter.
You could wake up 10 minutes earlier.
No.
You could for the sun.
See, I could, but me and you know that's not gonna happen.
No, I would never.
Impossible.
I'm kidding. I actually would for the sun.
See,
it's just that it usually does. Like the sun is there, but it's not
doing
sunny.
Anything. Yeah.
If it was guaranteed sunny every day, absolutely. Catch me waking up an hour before work, cramming a walk in. When I tell you that when I wake up and like I know the sun's there because it's light outside, but there's no sun. No. Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's not worth it. It's even double not worth it.
Yeah.
That's your fair. But how was the freaking sun in LA, baby? LAX.
Well, San Diego
first. True. I keep thinking. I always forget California's the state, and I always think LA is the state, but it's California. So that's why I always say LA.
Yeah. No. So yeah. As you people know, as you heard, I did go to LA in November to see Harry Styles. Unfortunately, sorry, the un was not very audible. Unfortunately, he did cancel. He was feeling sick and did reschedule us for the end of January. Me and Nasty had tickets to see Harry Styles, and we had the option of selling our ticket free of charge, like they wouldn't charge us extra. So we talked about it, and we were like, you know what? Why not? Let's go back. But yeah, so we had the option of reselling, and we discussed, and we were like, why not? And then our friend Adriana suggested, why not go to San Diego? Because we were going to go back to LA because that's where the concert is still. And she was like, you know what, why don't we go to San Diego? And either like we come to LA for the concert and then like drive out to San Diego for the week after, or the reverse. And yeah, so we decided to go. We left Monday morning, so we left the 24th. Yeah, and then the concert was the 29th, and we came home early morning on the 31st, but we threw oh my gosh, we flew out the 30th. Yeah, honestly, getting there, no problem. Like, shockingly enough, like, I had all my liquids in a bag, and they were like in a plastic bag, and I was just like, oh, can I get like because it wasn't one of the airport security bags. It was just like regular plastic bags. That's all I had. So I like packed it all in, but I didn't close it. Like, the rule's like you're supposed to close it. And I was like, whatever. They stopped me before when I did have it closed. I was like, I'm not going to put this effort in. I'm just going to go across. And if they make me throw something out, I'll throw something out. Yeah. So like I just like stuffed it in there because like I'm sure I could have like jigsawed it to make it fit and close it, but I was like, I was in a rush. Toss everything in there and I move on with my life. I get across, no problem. Sweet. I just love knowing that I had to throw stuff out the last 2 times for no reason, but I was like, that's okay. I'll forgive them this time. And then this time, like, we're going through customs, and like there's 2 lines. So like there's the line before the customs, and then there's the customs line. And the lineup before was fine, but it was very fast. So we didn't have time to download like the app, because if you use an app, you can get through customs much quicker. Whatever. And then like, but we didn't have download the app. So then they're like, okay, go through the regular customs line. And we were like, okay. But then they said, they were like, if you get the app before you make it to the customs, like before you're like up next, you can go through the app customs line. So we do it, and then we go and we're like, oh, we did the app. And the woman's like, okay, like you're in the customs line. You have to stay in the customs line. So we were like, okay, whatever. And then some other guy's like, oh, you did the app? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, okay, come on. And then he sent us through, and I was like, okay, whatever. And like this time, like I think I got the nosy guard or the customs officer, because he was like, where are you going? And like it's funny because I didn't know the address because Nastia booked the Airbnb. But like right before I was like, oh, I know that sometimes they ask that stuff. So I was like, I'll just get the address. So like I quickly memorized it. And luckily I did, because he asked for the address. And I was like, and he's like, where are you guys going? And I was like, we're going to see Harry Styles. And he's like, okay. And then he asked like a few other things. And I was just like, whatever, answered. It's not a big, like I wasn't doing anything sketch, so I wasn't like sweating or anything.
Did he ask your favorite HS song?
Sorry, one more time?
Did he ask your favorite HS song?
No, he didn't. He asked, who's that? I was like, Harry Styles, and he's like, who's that? And I was like, a singer.
That's so rude.
Right?
They take advantage of their position. Like,
disrespectful.
God.
Like, I'm gonna ask, next time when I'm gonna ask your name, be like, who's that? So, and then yeah, our flight, perfectly fine. I can't stay awake on a flight to save my life. Like, if it was like life or death, I don't even think, like, I think it's just like, I'm just like,
I'd believe that. I feel like, like that seems like a perfect place to like if you fall asleep in the car, like why on a plane?
I fall asleep everywhere and anywhere, but but before that, so like funny story, there's cats. I sent you a Snapchat of this. There's people like carrying cats in a backpack, and like we were first coming in, I think it was either customs or just security. We saw the cat in the backpack and we're like, ha ha ha, that's so funny. Yeah. Cat in a backpack. And then as we're waiting in line for our flight, we're like, no way, the cats in the backpacks are on our flight. And like, so we line up behind them, like just by accident, like we were going, and then they got there first. And I start to feel a little bit of hair on my tongue. I remember where that last happened, when I realized I was allergic to the lila. Like now I don't feel it as much. I don't know why. Maybe
you're getting immune?
Probably isn't good. No, probably my body's just like, I'm probably in pain. I just don't feel it anymore. But whatever. But yeah, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so like I started to feel it, and I was like, nice, I better not get seated next to these cats, because I think I will not be able to breathe the entire time. Luckily I wasn't. Nice. And even though the air does circulate in the plane, I wasn't feeling the cat's air.
Was it a bigger plane than like our tiny New York one?
Oh well, yeah, the New York one is only a 2-seater on each side. Yeah. So it was definitely bigger, but then like it was still pretty small. Yeah. The one on the way back was huge, but granted we flew out of LAX, but still, it's weird, because I was like, who's going up north? But then I realized, I was like, I guess a lot of people are coming in at different times and then going home whenever. But yeah, so we land, we touch down, everything's chilling, we're perfectly fine. I don't remember what happens, but we went to like, it just immediately, San Diego is much better than LA, so I'm gonna pull up my notes. It was just the weather was gorgeous. It was sunny. It was beautiful. Nice. Because granted, it is more south, so it checks out, but still.
Yeah, I was so jealous of the sun. I'm just having daylight. Guys,
so here's the thing. It
early?
tricks you. It tricks you. It sets the same time because we're in the same hemisphere.
That's so true.
The only difference is that, like, I don't know if you felt this in New York, but I found it was the same thing where it's like you've experienced the sun the same amount of time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, there, when the sun sets, like it hits the horizon, it's set, like it's blackout because they have mountains.
True.
So it's covered by the mountains. So, like, unless you're, like, at the beach where, like, there's no mountains right across, you can still see the sun. But, like, if you're, like, in town, the mountains cover it up. So, like, at, like, I think by 5, the sun set, like, at 5 every day. Right? So it's the same time. It's just warmer because we're closer to the equator, right? So
interesting.
Yeah, so it was very deceiving that way where, like, we would always plan stuff out and be like, oh, like, we have more time. Like, you would assume that, like, you had till, like, 7 or something, but it wasn't. It was 5 o'clock sharp, like, every day.
Okay.
But it did, like, the sun did rise earlier. And it's funny enough because, like, one time I fell asleep with one of my AirPods in. And I think I had the window open because the left AirPod is the one that I had in. I'm pretty sure that the sun stained it from, like, the one morning that it was in because it's, like, yellow and just the left one. And it wasn't like that before the trip. So.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's funny how, like, the sun was really strong and stuff. But it was very nice.
Nice.
But yeah, just, you know, me, Nasya, and Adriana, we were there, like, the three of us until Thursday. And then Thursday, Odessa joined us. And then we all went home together on the Monday. But one of my favorite things ever, I think it was like day 1 or day 2. We're, like, talking about stuff. And I think Nasya was like, yeah, I don't like banana flavored things. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then another time we were both talking about how, like, we don't really like seafood. Because, like, I don't really like seafood. I'll have calamari because it's breaded. And I can trick my brain into saying that it's just, like, an onion ring. So we had calamari, whatever, and then, like, me and Nasser were both just like, yeah, like, we can have calamari, but, like, we don't really have any other seafood. And then the next day, we're at a restaurant, and, like, we're ordering drinks, whatever, and then Nasser orders this thing called the swinging banana. So me and Adrian kind of look, and we're like, you said you don't like banana flavored things. She's like, I know, but, like, blah, 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 like, whatever. She has some backstory. And then she also ordered shrimp with her salad. And then we were like, you don't like seafood, eh? Like, clearly, you know.
Something's not adding up, Nasya.
So then she became Nasya the liar because there's just so many other instances of her, like, saying something and she'd be like, never mind. And, like, it just became this big inside joke because she just, like, there was another time where literally she was, like, telling us a story and she's like, oh, you know this person, he went to your elementary school. Because me and Adriana went to the same one, Nasya didn't. She's like, he was your age, he's like our age, and went to your elementary school. And we were like, we don't know this person. And our school is small. Like, I get it, like, in Nasya's school, if she didn't know someone, that's fair, because whatever, it's a pretty big school, but ours was very small. And we were like, and then she's like, oh, I lied, he's a year younger. Or, like, and then, like, she was like, he went to my elementary school too. And we were like...
Just none of the stories right.
I'm telling you, she was so the whole time she was Nasya the liar. Like, we couldn't take her word for it. It was so
the
funny.
San Diego air, you know.
The San Diego sun and air did something to her. So, what else? Oh yeah, so my favorite thing is, like, my name got spelled Roxino. One day when they were like, what's your name? It was Roxino, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know where that came from.
Your new alter ego is Roxino.
Roxino.
I feel like that's, like, the name of, like, you cosplaying John Travolta.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, like, literally.
That's Roxino.
Because we went to, like, a little cafe, which also, like, so apparently it turns out our Airbnb wasn't in the greatest place in town, but, like, it's fine because there's 3 of us. We stuck together. We made sure that, like, we weren't out too late, all this stuff. But, like, on our morning walk, we're like, oh, there's a cafe, like, 5-minute walk away. And we're, like, walking. We're kind of like, okay, like, it's not the greatest part of town. Like, there's a few people who, like, heckled us, whatever. And we're, like, just kind of, like, putting our heads down, just trying to get through it. And then, like, luckily we made it to the cafe. Nice. It's actually really nice.
Okay,
so we're like, okay, fine.
Worth it.
And we go up to the counter, whatever. I order my stuff. And then they're like, what's your name? And I was like, Oksana. And I assumed that they said Roxanne. And I was like, so I said, yeah, because I was like, I don't, it's none of my business. And I was like, I'll respond to anything. And then just briefly, when I was about to pay, it said, hello, Roxino. And I was like, before I could even take a picture, I like already tapped it. I was like, damn it. And then like, but like, I think Adriana or Nastia saw it too, and they were dying. And I was like,
that's actually hilarious. That is, wow. I never even thought of that iteration ever.
That's what I'm saying. It's people love to come up with new names for me and then be like, wow, that's an interesting name. And I'm like, I know, because you just came up with it. Like, it's not my name.
It's hypothetical. Like, I get it's not as common, like, to hear the name, like, Oksana, even Roxanne, whatever. But, like, it's not that hard. You know what I mean? Like, it's really not, like, some crazy name with, like, where you have, like, 10 letters that are, like, silent. Or, like, some letters that make a different sound. Like, it's pretty straightforward.
And like, it's not even like I go around saying Oksana. And then people are kind of like, okay, she's speaking a different language. I literally say Oksana.
Yeah.
But it does just make my day how much. Because it also turns out later I got Oxiana. So Oxiana. And I was like, nice. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so, like, the first day we went to, like, their island, Coronado Island. It was gorgeous. Like, the hotels that were there and the inns. Stunning. Oh, my gosh. Beautiful. So, like, we spent the day there, just kind of walked around, sight saw, whatever. I think the next day we went to the zoo. That was really cool. Got to see a koala.
Oh, yes, I saw all your pictures.
Yeah. Adriana did leave her phone in the bug exhibit. Let's stop. And this isn't just for the Toronto Zoo, which we have all seen my prejudice against them holding raccoons. Stop putting cockroaches in exhibits. I'm sorry, no one wants to see them. No. They are the worst form of a jump scare. We're like looking around at stick bugs, cool things we'll never see day to day. Oh, let's search for the stick bug. Next thing you know, we're looking at 17 cockroaches in the eye. It's disgusting. Let's stop it or put some sort of warning. Enough. That's like, why weren't there rats on display? Why weren't there mosquitoes on display? Riddle me that. And then there were raccoons also in the exhibits. Why?
Well, that makes sense because they're like, ooh, crazy cool animal that we don't have.
They're filthy.
Which zoo was bigger or better in your opinion? San Diego versus Toronto?
Humongous.
Really?
It's humongous. Victory, they have buses that take you around free of charge.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, it's with the admission price. Free of charge.
Really?
Yeah. Granted, I do think, like, so I think they have more room per animal.
Okay.
And they have more species for sure. Would I say they have better species? Yeah, they have koalas. So, fair. But I'm just trying to think, is there anything that the Toronto Zoo had that the San Diego Zoo didn't have? Not really. I could see that. I do like the aquarium part of the Toronto Zoo. But also we couldn't even see it all. And we were there for hours. Yeah. So it's like, but yeah, they had polar bears. They had no kangaroos, but they said, like, apparently their sister zoo had it up the hill. They also have a sky tram that you can take across the zoo.
Okay, yeah, that's next level.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've heard that the San Diego Zoo is, like, really, like, a big one. Like,
it's huge. But yeah, no, it's huge. It has, like, the tram. It has a ton of, like, restaurants stuff, but, like, also the Toronto Zoo has a bunch of stuff. It was hilarious, though. They had the hummingbird exhibit. There was 0 hummingbirds in there. We saw more hummingbirds outside in the wild than there was indoors.
Do you think? Oh, no. Because the last time I went to the zoo, none of the birds were there because there's, like, a bird flu going around. So they, like, locked them all up. So I don't know if it's still happening.
Maybe. Okay, I could see that because, yeah, their bird part was scarce, but it was, like, a whole sanctuary because they had, like, a lot of bird sections.
Yeah.
But then, like, their hummingbird one was, like, it was anything but hummingbirds. And I was so confused. I could see it, maybe. Yeah, they had some cool stuff. The San Diego Zoo was nice. Like, obviously the Toronto Zoo feels like home because like how many times have I been there
too, yeah.
But the San Diego Zoo was way bigger.
Nice. I don't think I've ever been to a zoo outside of the Toronto one. Like, anywhere I've been, I don't think I've ever. Because I think in my head I'm always like, well, like, we have a zoo in Toronto, why would I go to another zoo, like, schedule time. But I think that's actually a really cool idea. I like definitely would be down to check out like any zoos.
If it has like different animals, yeah. Because I knew that the San Diego. Why am I not connected to your internet?
Oh, we got no internet.
Oh, okay, fair, right, that whole thing. Because I was gonna say, I was like, why is it not? Because I want to Google something before I say it out loud. Because I don't want to.
Did you click it?
Which one?
The 7.
There we go, perfect. Because so like. I think so. They're huge on like what's the word? It's like saving animals.
Oh yeah.
Like they're not just a zoo. It's like more about rehabilitation and stuff. Hold up.
Does the movie We Bought a Zoo take place in the San Diego Zoo?
Sorry?
You know there's a movie called We Bought a Zoo or something like that, and I think it takes place in the San Diego one. Maybe that's why it's also really popular.
I'm not sure. I think, okay, I could be wrong, but I think I'm pretty sure that Marty from the Madagascar wants to go to the San Diego Zoo.
Maybe that's why, because I feel like I've heard San Diego Zoo
as
a big name before, like in a movie or something. Like it's popular because, well, it's not just popular because it was in a movie, but like, it has more...
Yeah, it is a really famous because it's ginormous. But I'm pretty sure the San Diego Zoo was...
I know one of the Madagascar was the New York one.
Did Marty want to go to the San Diego
These are the important
Zoo?
Questions.
Because I'm pretty sure that's why... Where did Marty and Madagascar want to go? What? Because I know he didn't want to go to... Yeah, he wanted to go to San Diego. Yeah. Okay. So I confirmed. So that's what I thought. And then even Nasser was like, wait, isn't Madagascar from the San Diego Zoo? And I was like, first of all, they're from the Central Park Zoo in New York. Rude. They were literally in Union Station where they got shot and then sent to Madagascar. So watch yourself.
Yeah, come on.
The disrespect was a little wicked with that one.
Nasser's on thin ice this trip.
She was I'm telling you, she's lucky she's a nice girl. That's all I gotta say. Otherwise she'd be toast.
If other people said that, like
if anyone else said that, they'd be game over.
Yeah. If I said that, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
You wouldn't. It would be 2 Girls Being Bros, but it would be me twice.
Yeah.
So no, she was on thin ice after she said that, because she said that with such gusto, and I had to sit. And Adriana ate it up. She lapped it up. Like
that's almost just as bad.
I know. And I was like, you're gonna let her get away with this?
She's attacking you in San Diego.
Yeah, it was disrespectful. It was quite honestly the most rude thing anyone has ever said to me.
Yeah.
Or about me, honestly.
That makes me I kind of wish because we tried to go to New York, the Central Park Zoo, but we couldn't find like the entrance for it, and it was just we already walked 30,000 steps in the zoo. But I kind of wish we did. I guess
we have to go back.
Oh,
and see the Eiffel Tower.
See the Eiffel Tower.
And see the Statue of Liberty.
The Statue of Liberty. Yeah. Summer trip. Yeah. Summer one. Yeah.
When it doesn't smell like garbage. Can we do spring? I
can't. Or fall. Fall would be really nice too with the changing leaves.
Yeah. But yeah. So, but I am due for a vacation in March. So far,
every 2 months.
Because I think it was. Did we do anything? Did we go anywhere in September? No,
because so you did July, August.
If I went somewhere in September and October, that would be like a full 6 months.
You took a 2-month break.
We're pretty darn close.
Well, that's only because you got sick, so you were recovering.
Yeah, we'll say that.
We'll say that. Yeah.
Damn, yeah, we didn't go anywhere in September?
No. And no, or September, no October. No, November you did LA.
November, so November I did LA, December New York, January San Diego, February we're going to cottage. So I still count as a getaway. I'm due for March. I need something for March.
March break.
That's what I'm saying. I got to do something. But what was I saying? So we went to the zoo. Gorgeous. The zoo's amazing. What?
Sure, I thought of what your March could be.
What?
Bird Kingdom, baby. Niagara Falls.
What is that?
Remember?
Why are you crying?
I don't know. That's how I'm going to Bird Kingdom. Also, I don't know why my eyes are very watery in general today, but the thought of Bird Kingdom.
Okay, let's go.
Go to Bird Kingdom.
Okay, we're going to Bird Kingdom in March.
Oh, Gotta get the pasta.
Pasta time.
Pasta check. But yeah, no, Bird Kingdom.
Okay.
Because I think me and because at the bazaar back in November, there were like those gift baskets you could win. And like one was 4 tickets to Bird Kingdom.
Oh.
And then me, Nadia, and Andri were like, let's do it, let's go. And then us 4 can go to Bird Kingdom. And we put so many tickets in there, didn't win.
Oh.
But that's why it triggered. So we could go to Bird Kingdom.
Let's go to Bird Kingdom.
Falls,
I need to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Because
it's small, but
it's quaint.
Yeah, it's
the
quaint.
The word is quaint.
It's a quaint little trip to Bird Kingdom.
Yeah. Also hilarious. I saw Windham Hotel and I died. I was like, it's no La Quinta.
It's no La Quinta.
They can try their best. But.
I love birds. I love birds in a tear. So I'm thinking of going to Bird Kingdom with you guys.
It would be fun.
It would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But I hope the bird flu's done. Stay tuned.
Oh, true. Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Gotta check that.
Yeah. Yikes. That is why the penguins in the zoo actually did get moved because of the bird flu.
Bird flu, yeah. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe Bird Kingdom must be postponed.
Yeah. Stay tuned. But yeah, so I'm due for a vacation. But yeah, the zoo is nice, a classic. You know, you can't go wrong. Mm-hmm. I don't remember anything like extraordinary being there. Just I remember I couldn't see the wombat, so I was a little bit upset. It's one of my favorites. What else? And let me tell you, so it just takes a sharp turn. So the first 3 days, perfectly fine, perfectly mild, like no harm, no foul. And then things just start getting a little weird. Like me eating a waffle that tastes like gasoline.
The snap, I was like, what?
No, that it literally, so like I get the waffle and it smells fine. I crack it open. I don't smell anything. I put it in my mouth. It tasted like it was drenched in gasoline. And at first, like I didn't take it in. Like I felt like something was off, and I was like, "Can you guys taste this? Like, something tastes really weird." And then like I'm like chewing, and then Adriana takes a piece, and then Nasia's like she's like taking a piece, and I don't know if she like already bit into it or not. And I was like, "Actually, don't." I was like, "I actually think this tastes like gasoline." Mm-hmm. And I couldn't eat the rest, and then they agreed, and I was like, okay, it's not just like me, and it's not just like the smell. It was literally like the waffle tastes like it was soaked in gasoline. It was so weird. So I bought a Coke to like burn,
wash down the gasoline.
Yeah, wash down the gasoline. Had to like burn a hole in my stomach, but I was like, so I was really scared about that.
So weird.
And it was at the same cafe, and it was funny because like every day I was like, oh, I'll get myself a waffle. Never did. Mm-hmm. But then just that one, I was like, never again. And I was kind of bummed because I wanted a sweet thing, but you know, can't win them all.
It's really strange.
And then also hilarious, a man was like, because the first day I got a little burn, but I was wearing my Lululemon Align tank. So like I had like a pretty, like a normal deep V-neck of tan. So just like most shirts you won't see it because like most shirts are higher than that. Mm-hmm. But Nasa, she wore like a little V-neck, and then so she got burned with a little V, and then the next day she wore more of like a looser tank top or whatever. So like you could just see that like she got burned. Mm-hmm. Like mine wasn't as obvious, but then like some man saw us at the cafe and he's like, "Oh, we can tell you're not locals because like everyone's wearing like their jackets and stuff, and like they're like warmly dressed, and then we're like in skirts." And he was like, "And you're like," and I was like, "Crop top, crop top, old man." Like, what a fool. I hate fools. Yeah. So I hated this man. But yeah. So yeah, that happened. Gasoline Waffle was wild.
She's still here today, so
I survived. Mm-hmm. But then, oh my gosh, so we all went kayaking. Mm-hmm. And we got to kayak, I think like it's the ocean. Yeah. Yeah. Kayak in the ocean.
Pacific.
But specifically the beach that we were at was like like it's like a reservation, so like you can't so apparently like you can't, like people get fined for having garbage in there, and like it's right on the water and there's houses on the water, and apparently like the rock eroded and a house fell in, and they had to pay millions because they had to pay people to take out all the garbage because like the water and the land there is like it's like not, it's protected by the government or whatever. So that was pretty wild. But it was just so funny. Like, my mind's a prison. We all know that. My body's the cell, and you're my cellmate. And then Andri's the warden. We all know that. But it was so bad this time because, like, I don't know what. I think it was just me being in the water, me being, like, just the sun was getting to me. So I was feeling a little crazy. Yeah. So, like, we get there, and, like, our tour guide wasn't there yet. So we were just kind of, like, waiting in the sand and just doing whatever. And then he finally gets there and he's like introducing himself, and there's other people there as well. And he goes and he's like, yeah, like if you need anything, like whatever. He's like, if you have low blood sugar, like let me know. And then like immediately my mind went to like, could you imagine you're on the ocean and you like have low blood sugar and you're like about to pass out and you're like, guard, like I'm about to pass out, I have low blood sugar. And then he's like, oh, you want some sugar?
Oh.
Like, I got you. And then he goes, and I just died at that. And I was just like, this poor man is like talking to a big group and I'm just sitting there laughing, chuckling to myself. So I was like, how do I explain this?
That's
and I
so
couldn't.
good.
And then like later, so we were like driving by some caves or whatever. And then my favorite part is like, they were like, since we were doing 2 people kayaks, I was with Nastya, they were like, okay, one person in the back has to be like the muscle and then the front has to be the brains. And I was like, we're toast either which way. I was joshing. But yeah, so like at the minute Adriana and the rest were behind us, I was like, you guys want to go a little slower? You know, obviously just you know, stoking that fire, let me tell you.
Just crazy on the ocean.
I'm just crazy. I'm a crazy girl in the ocean, you know? And then he said, he was like, oh, like, I'll give you guys a chance to swim. And I was like, so I was just like already like taking off my helmet. And he was like, oh, like later. And I was like, yeah. I was thinking the same thing. And I was like, cool. We got to see so many fish underneath us.
Ooh.
I got to see a jellyfish from afar.
Did you touch it?
No. I cuddled it.
Oh, cute. Put it in your backpack for the plane ride home?
I wanted to show you.
Yeah.
I had to bring it home. And then we got to see sea lions.
Oh my god.
So first you saw sea lions kind of like from afar, like on the shore. But like we're not allowed to go that close. But then we saw them like from like, I'd say from like me to like the door over there.
Yeah, that's so
and they were so close. And there's so many of them. There's like a little baby and it was so cute. And then we got to see dolphins. And I was in the water and he said apparently like dolphins are really playful. So he was like, oh, they're coming because they're intrigued. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like holding on to the kayak. I was like, I'm good, thanks.
That's so cool though.
Yeah, and then we got to go into a cave as well and like come out. And then me and Nasa had huge waves. Like we like came up and like barely down. And we were the first to go. And then like we came out and everyone's like, wow, you guys got some big waves. But like, so they were all scared. But like, luckily they didn't get as high waves. It was us. And I was like,
they just wanted to give you the most.
Yeah,
you know,
so we crushed it. And then just, it was hilarious. Like Nastya and then like even our tour guide a little got pooped on by pelicans. And it was just so funny because I can't remember. I was like, because Nastya was right in front of me. So like you would assume that like I got pooped on as well. So I was like checking myself. I was like, oh, thank goodness. And then the tour guide was like, you're wearing a wetsuit. And I was like, and? Poop's poop, baby.
Yeah, it still gets on you.
Yeah, like I get it. You're not wearing a wetsuit on top, but like, and it got on your skin. That's easier to wash. I have to sit in this filth.
Yeah.
So, but all in all, it was a lot of fun. He had some good like stories or whatever. So he's like, oh, see those 2 caves over there? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, the one is called like the White Lady, and the other one's called Little Sister. So he's like, I'll tell you the story of the White Lady first. So it's like, apparently a bride and groom like just got married and then they were like looking over the cliffs and the woman like climbs down for whatever reason, who knows, and she goes and then while she was there like a big wave came and then they're like, oh, the last thing they saw was just like white foam where like she used to be, so it looked like a veil, so it's like her. And then he was like, does anyone have a clue of what, like, why Little Sister was called Little Sister? And me and Nats were both like, kind of like, oh, I don't know, her sister came looking for her or something and the same thing happened. And he's like, no, it's just smaller. And I was like, oh yeah, I was like, me and Nats, I was like, yeah, idiots. I was like, we're so dumb.
Yeah,
like, oh, it just fooled or whatever.
Yeah.
They never laughed though. And I was like, got him.
You bring that banter to San Diego, baby.
That's a fact, let me tell you. And then so like honestly, so like the I keep wanting to call him the lifeguard. He was not a lifeguard. The tour guide was pretty cool. He was fine. He showed us like the coolest parts of the ocean. We didn't see any whales, but that's okay.
I was sitting at home.
It is funny because every time I saw a cow or cow-like thing, I took a picture of it and I was sending it to Victory.
The jokes they're too good.
They're too good. They rate themselves. And then in the end, so like apparently we like whatever paddled out, and apparently like when you paddle back, the waves, like I don't know, something about like the waves and the way the kayaks are, like you're like, he's like, you have to like do it a certain way, whatever. And then so like me and Nats just saved to be last, and we go and like he's like, okay, like usually people fall over, but like if you like lean back and do everything properly, like you won't fall over, like blah blah. So like the first like, so I think there's total of 5 kayaks. So like the first 4 go and then me and Aster go. And then at one point we like start going, he's like paddle, paddle. So we like paddled, but we went on the side that we were like tipping. So like immediately we were like horizontal and I was like, we're going under. So we just like fell under and it was just so funny. I was like, of course us, we would like, you know, we ride this huge wave, nothing happens to us. But the minute we try to sail back safely, we fall in. And then, but we also did win the speed race. Oh. We had a race and he was like, it was neck and neck. And I was like, no, it wasn't. Even Adriana and Odessa both said we beat them. So I was like, rude. Rude.
He's trying to, you know, keep everyone happy.
Yeah. So we won some nice ginger candies. I hate ginger.
Yummy.
But yeah.
Nice.
So that was my favorite part of the trip, I'd say. You know, I love being in the water.
Yeah, water, sun,
animals. Yeah. Sun. The sun was shining. I was basking in the sun.
That's where you thrive. You and your brother.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a very your family thing.
Yeah. We're big water people, big sun people for sure. I'm trying to think what else. We went to the classic Balboa Park. I don't know if you've heard of it, but apparently
I think I've heard the name.
Thing. Yeah, like I've heard of it too. Oh. But let me tell you, how do I begin? We all know the trope that men are funny and women aren't.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. And my proof is we went to a comedy club. For the first time ever.
God.
Okay?
Yeah.
And apparently, like, they said, like, their headliner would, like, just won some comedy contest, like, blah, blah, and, like, there's, like, 6 acts.
Yeah.
So we're like, you know, if you have, like, 6 or 7 or 8 acts, like, clearly they must be good.
Yeah.
You know? So whatever, the first woman opens, whatever, she's good. She's fine, you know? But she's just, like, the introducer, so, like, she's just kind of trying to get the show started. She's not actually doing, like, a set.
Yeah.
The first guy comes on. He's so funny, you know? The first joke, laughter. Second joke, laughter. Immediately starts making fun of women. Immediately. And I, like, sat there. It's just, like, it's not, and it's nothing that, like, I'm offended by those jokes. It's just, like, to me, they're not funny.
No, and they're just,
because there's nothing behind them other than, like, you're just making fun of women. Like, there's like, you didn't put any thought into this joke.
Yeah, it's like the cheap way out.
It's not clever.
Yeah.
It's not funny. Like, literally, like, no, like, the whole crowd was dead. Most of them were men. Even they didn't laugh because it's kind of like, it's cheap humor.
Yeah.
It's a cop-out.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's
if I'm going to a comedy club, make me laugh. Like, I'm sorry. Like, put the thought into it. So, like, whatever. That's the first guy. The second guy... He like tries to like ride the coattails of the first guy, and again just goes into making fun of women. Fine, whatever, you want to make a joke. He literally at one point was like, the women can make sandwiches or whatever, and it was dead silent in there. It was rough. I was like, how have you not readjusted?
Yeah.
Oh, so awkward. And like I was like sitting there and I was like, because that's my main problem. I like the idea of a comedy club. I like the idea of going somewhere and having someone tell me a story and making me laugh.
Yeah.
I want that. It's just like, it's never good.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's never well done.
Yeah.
And that's my only beef with it. So I was like telling like the girls, I was like, I have no problem with the comedy club, just they're usually not funny.
Yeah.
So whatever, the second guy goes, he pretty much flops. I think he was the worst one yet. It was awful. And then like this girl goes on. Hilarious. So funny. And like I hate like typical like millennial trope as well. Where like they make fun of Gen Z. It's like the technology, like there's something about that style of humor where I'm like, you're not making a joke, you're just making fun of someone.
Yeah.
I always find very weird and I just can't get behind. And like that's what pretty much, so she did the reverse, like she was making fun of Gen Z. So it was nice because she was a Gen Z as well. So I was like, okay, like that makes sense.
Yeah.
She's making jokes about things because she understands them. She's not just making fun of someone else.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't understand it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So she was hilarious. Loved her. Oh my gosh. Actually, speaking of which, I do want to follow her. I want to support her. So she goes on, good, whatever. Next guy goes on, not bad.
Okay.
He says a few jokes, pretty good. And then immediately, like, he starts dipping his toe in the water of making fun of women. The crowd, again, not having it, so he moves on. So yeah, crowd moves on. Crowd not having it, he moves on. Fine. Okay. And then he goes, and, like, this, I get it. Like, I know that not everyone can understand, or, like, it's still a touchy subject for a lot of people. Like, he was, like, I think just his delivery was really bad, because he was just essentially kind of saying, like, the best way to stop school shootings is by hiring pedos as security guards to keep an eye on the school. And I was like, I understand, like, you were actually trying to string thoughts together to create a joke. Yeah. It's just not it. And, like, the crowd, so, like, it was like he had funny elements to it, so some people would laugh, but it was just, like, you know, like, that gut feeling in your stomach, you're like, I'm like, it's not funny enough. Like, the joke isn't a joke enough. Yeah. To laugh. Like, so, like, that was, like, semi. So, it was, like, that was kind of hard to watch because, like, clearly you could tell he thought he had a home run. Yeah. And it was just, like, it was hard to watch. And I was like, okay, like, at least he was, like, trying. And I was like, he missed the mark. And then this other guy comes on and he was hilarious. This guy, like, I can't even remember what his set was about. It was just so funny. Like, it was all original. The jokes were actual jokes. Like, you know, he threw in a little bit of, like, making fun of himself, making fun of other people. So good. Like, phenomenal. Had me laughing. Yeah. And then I can't remember if there was one more guy in between or not. If there was, not memorable. And then they had, like, the headliner, and he was good. Yeah. He was good. He did a really good job. Like, I could tell, like, okay, like, this guy's a professional comic. And the rest of them were just, like, oh my gosh. It was just brutal. I don't think I could ever go, like, I just don't think I would find anything funny. Like, I don't know. But then I feel like when I could say comedy club, like, I associate it with all, like, the first and second person you taught, which I feel like most of, like, the small ones are kind of that. Maybe I'm, like, judging because I don't know anything about it. Whatever. Fair enough. But, like, I don't know. I've just never gone because, like, I just don't think I imagine that everything would be like those two guys, and I know I just wouldn't find it funny. But here's the thing. Even with that, I feel like a lot of people's jokes, or, like, people who typically try to, like, become comics or whatever, they always try to go for, like, shock value. Yeah. But, like, I don't think people understand that, like, when you have a story, or, like, you're telling a story, you're telling a joke. Yeah. It's mostly in delivery and, like, knowing how to, like, you're creating a joke because the whole idea is you're taking reality and turning it to something not real. Yeah. And that's the joking part. Yeah. But I feel like a lot of them just draw from reality and just, like, and so much of them are just, like, lewd jokes. Yeah. And I don't know why. Like, there's no reason. Like, it's not that, like, I'm uncomfortable with that stuff. I just don't find them funny because I'm like, 90% of the time you're just making fun of someone you slept with. It just sounds like you had a bad time. Yeah, and, like, you're like petty that they that didn't work out. That's and you didn't like you. So then you're trying to like, they're trying to make fun of a situation. I was like, no, this was just embarrassing. Yeah, like, that's what I feel like most, like, but then like the only, and, like, I don't know if I would be able to laugh out loud. I'm curious. Like, I feel like the only times I laugh out loud were, like, from other, like, see, I'm like a stranger. Like, I feel like it's so easy for me to laugh, like, when you tell a story, when, like, one of, like, our friends tells a funny story, like, I can laugh because I can relate, and, like, I know the people, whatever, I know the situation, I know, like, your personalities, so, like, I know how it would be funny, whatever, etc. Like that, you know what I mean? Like, because, like, that relatability, like, I don't know if I'd be able to laugh at, like, strangers telling jokes. And, like, the only exception I can think to that is, like, Impractical Jokers. It's, like, the only show that I be able to laugh out loud. They make, like, I feel like their content's funny too because it's like they're making, again, like, they're doing silly things. Yeah, like, they're for them, like, not making fun of people. Yeah, they're not making fun of others. Like, it's not the expense of others. They're also just making fun of themselves. Yeah. So it's like that's a different type of humor as well. Yeah. You know, it's something you can laugh at. If it's something like that, I think I could be able to, but, like, I don't know if I'd be able to laugh out loud at, like, strangers' jokes. Like, I don't know if, like, that's, like, for me, but maybe I should try it before I fully speak into it. I'll see if there's anything that makes me laugh because I'm very, like, if something doesn't make me laugh, I can't fake laugh. Yeah. Like, I feel like you've seen that in situations where, like, people are, like, laughing. I'm like, I don't understand why we're laughing. Yeah. I cannot join. I feel like we have pretty similar humors too. Yeah. So I feel like if you would laugh, then I would laugh. And I feel like we have very similar, not, like, the things that you're saying that you hate. I'm like, agreed. Yeah. I would not laugh at it either. Yeah. So I realize, like, it does take a lot for me to laugh. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm really good at making you laugh, but that's because I know exactly what you laugh at. Yeah. I also am a fool, so I laugh at myself all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was my first comedy club experience. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I did think it was gonna be much worse. I was relieved that there was that, like, the 2 comics that I really liked, and then the headliner. He was good. He had a couple like not like bad jokes, like not inappropriate jokes. They were just like a couple like flops where I was like not as strong, not his strongest jokes, but like he kept on and like he was good. I liked him. So but yeah, and then like I'm trying to think. So yeah, and then we moved on to, oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, so comedy club. This next thing would have probably had you rolling on the floor laughing. So like, we all know I'm a strong girl.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we've been through it. I can carry a lot of weight. Like, and that's fair, because honestly, when I watched the Malanka vlog coming out next week.
Yes.
Coming out next week. Don't miss out. You had your arm and you were going like this, and like you were like fixing your hair or something. And then later I was in the scene and I like flexed and I was like, my arm is like triple your size in each dimension.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Jacked.
Like, so I was just like, my arm is like sludge, but whatever. So like, I'm really strong, whatever. And I think I don't appear that strong. Like, I get it when I flex, but like when I'm not flexing, you can't really see my muscles or anything like that. Whatever. So I'm carrying my bag and it's heavy. Also, side note, our Airbnb didn't have any bowls, so we did purchase bowls. So I did carry bowls with me from San Diego to LA in my backpack, which I don't think this man was expecting. But on top of that, it just made my carry-on that much heavier, like my carry-on, my hot pink suitcase.
Yeah.
So I like passed in my hot pink suitcase and like I passed it to this Uber driver and he's like putting in his trunk, whatever. And I was like, I thought I was going to put it in there because I was like, I know it's heavy. I'm not going to do that to this guy. But he like, whatever. This man takes it from my hands and he proceeds to like tip over. This man literally tripped and almost ate shit in front of us. And then he tried to joke that it was a joke. And I was like, I hate to be that person. I know he wasn't kidding because he tripped over himself. Like, I could tell that he like, because even the way he took it from me, his hand like fell and then he proceeded to fall over. It was so bad.
That's so funny.
So bad. And then he tried to like redeem himself with, because he put Ada's bag away, Adriana's bag away, and then Nasia's bag away, and then he put Oresta's bag, and then he tried to like fake it with Oresta's again. But I was like, no,
it's too late.
Based on the way he took my bag, I was like, I know this man was shocked by how heavy it was, and literally fell over and almost ate the concrete.
Oh
like,
my god,
it was so bad. Me and Nasia later were laughing because we were like, that man was not kidding the first time. Like, the second time looked more of a joke, but the first time was not. So it was just so bad because I think like, he did associate, like, I think he was like, oh, like, you know, like, the bag's probably light because of, like, whatever. And then it wasn't. It was
full of
not
bowls,
light.
baby.
Funny enough, no, the bowls were in my backpack. I just packed a lot into that because I had to carry bowls with me. But also my backpack, then when, like, I think a lot of people were just shocked at how heavy my backpack was that day. And I was like, yeah, I'm carrying 6 bowls. 6 ceramic bowls. But yeah, and then, lo and behold, we made it to LA. And we make it to the Harry Styles concert.
They made it. I was like, oh, please nothing get canceled again. And I saw them, or you snapped me in the stadium.
Oh, yeah. I made it.
And they made it, I'm like,
yeah,
finally.
We made it at last.
Yeah.
Granted, the Uber there was $36 USD. But we made it.
We made it.
That's and it's funny because we stood in line. Because, like, there was a lot, like, we were, like, pulling up with the Uber. And then we see, like, a big lineup. And we're like, that's a long lineup, like, because like the doors opened at 7, and we got there like 7:02, and we were like, okay, why hasn't the line gone away yet? Like, this is so weird. So we're like standing in line, whatever, and then we're like checking updates. Like, I can't remember why we were checking updates, but we just wanted to see if anyone was tweeting anything or anything. And then the people in front of us are like, they like say something to us. I can't remember what they said. They were just saying something. And then the people in front of us are like, wait, do you have tickets? And we were like, yeah. And they're like, oh, this is the line for the box office. And we were like, oh. So we had to walk all the way to the Kia Forum. So like from the line, because it was like on the outskirts, it was like a good like 5-10 minute walk to get into the stadium. And like Nasia was like really stressed because like in Toronto, the whole concert situations in Toronto suck.
Yeah.
So, like, we get there and, like, we go through security and then there's just, like, merch shops everywhere. They still have everything available. And she was like, holy smokes. Like, in Toronto, no way.
Yeah, it's a
No way
fight.
would you get there at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
After the fact. Because we got to the line 7, stood there for maybe 5 minutes and then had to walk.
Mm-hmm.
So we got there, like, 7:20 maybe. And it was just, like, I'm just, like, not well-versed in concerts. So it wasn't stressing me out because I just don't really know anything about them.
Mm-hmm.
But she was shocked. She was like, no way. And there's, like, no lineup to
That's
get to
nuts.
the merch. We just, like, bought it, whatever. Sure, I spent way too much, but, like,
Worth
it
it.
happens to the
Yeah.
best of us. I was like, bro, I already went to LA once and then came back. I was like, yeah, of course I'm buying merch for this thing.
You have to
Granted,
document
I
it.
regret not getting the shirt that said LA, but whatever. That's
so
on me.
literally that's nice. You regretted not getting the Toronto one.
Yeah, so that's okay. Can't win them all.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he puts on a fantastic show, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pull up.
Yeah.
So we get to our seats, whatever. We're like looking for it. Also, impossible to find our section for some reason. Every other section was like there, and then I think we were in 108. We get there, we're like, we were in 108, and we were like, this is so weird, like, because I saw 107, and then the next row there was no sign, so we like walked to the next one, and I was like, oh, okay. And for some reason, I could have sworn I saw 108, but I guess I did because whatever. We sit down. Immediately sit down. There's a girl. So we were like 2 seats away from the aisle. So the daughter's sitting in the aisle seat, and then the mom is sitting like next to me.
Yeah.
And she turns to us maybe almost immediately, and says, how did you get VIP tickets? And we were like, oh, we're in VIP? So just hilarious that this woman's salty, first of all, for some reason, me and Asya, like, how dare we get tickets to see her? Like, I was just so confused. I was like, with that question.
Sense, yeah.
And I was just like, immediately her energy was so off. I did not want to talk to this woman. I was gonna be like, Nasi, do you want to just walk around and then come back when the opening act goes on? Because like, I was just like, what is going on right now? Like, that's just so weird. So whenever she talks to us, she's like, yeah, apparently this is the VIP section. Like, only friends and family of people can get these seats or something. And we were like, okay. And then turns out we weren't in the right section. We were just like the next section over, which is right now. Like, she was acting as though, like, I don't know, like getting 100 seats was like ridiculous. We were just like 1 row over.
Yeah.
That's it. And I was like, okay, like, so strange that she was just so weird. Like, the mother, like, I can't remember. She was just like, how'd you get VIP tickets? And then she asked us how much we paid for the tickets. And then she was like, we were like, oh, we're from Canada, whatever. And so I said, like, the price in Canadian dollar, like, I was like, CAD. And she's like, what does that mean? And I was like,
dude, you find like the worst, like the worst. That I still stand by it. Like, some people, just the worst of them comes out in concerts.
yeah, it was awful. I was just like, I don't even know. And then she was like, have you heard of London, Canada? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, I have a friend from there. And I was like, sick.
Like, do you want me to visit
And then
them?
she asked us if we were from the West Coast. Who cares? Who cares? Why are you asking me this?
Literally.
She's so weird. I really did not like her. Like, every time she spoke to me, I like turned to her and I was like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was not interested in having a conversation. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's one thing I discovered. I was like, if there's people who can't have a conversation, I cannot carry a conversation with them. There's so many Uber drivers we had that, like, the way they were having conversations, I was like, this is not a pleasant conversation for me to have.
Yeah.
I'm going to tune out because I physically cannot speak.
Yeah. One thing that happened this week, I don't know what, I guess it's just been it's been a long month of just a lot of work and just mainly just a lot of work and whatever. So maybe that's why. But then I literally, what was it? So my mom had to go drive my uncle somewhere in the morning. So she wasn't home, so I had to feed the fish. So she tells me to put the light on at 9. I'm like, yeah. I remember, I have to do it. I forget. She texts me at 10:30. She's like, the light on? And I was like, oh, no, put it on. She's like, go feed them now. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, gotta go feed the fish, right? I remember. No. She calls me at 12:30. She's like, you feed the fish? And I was like, oops, forgot. That same day, I tried to make myself supper. I put on the oven to warm it up. I go away. 20 minutes, my mom calls me. She's like, are you making something for dinner? And I'm like, yeah, I put it in the oven. She's like, you didn't turn the oven on. And she literally was like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, okay, like, I get that it's not really out of the ordinary. But, That
not
day,
good.
Yeah, that
It's
day,
not good
everything
behavior. It's
I was forgetting.
It's not proper.
Sorry, so that was a little sidebar.
Yeah, no worries. But anyways, yeah, back to Harry Styles. So whatever, this woman's weird. Thank goodness we got moved away from her. Whatever. Then in the corner of my eye, so like the way we were sitting, so we were sitting here, and like Harry, like the center of this, because his stage was in the middle.
Yeah.
And so we were like there, and then the VIPs were like directly across like their center stage, where we were just more like on an angle facing center stage. And so the VIP was there, and like that's like the real VIP people, like that. Those are like seats where like no one's in front of you, like you see the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we knew that like famous people were gonna sit there, and we were like, okay, interesting, because I think Julie Bowen from Modern Family was there like the week before, or like for one of the shows. And then Jennifer Aniston was on one of the shows as well. So, like, famous people were coming to see him, of course.
Oh, so the Davini twins are going to show up.
I think if they showed up in the VIP section, I think I would have thrown something at them. Like, straight up. Oh, I can't. Ugh. But anyways, in the corner of my eye, because I was like kind of keeping an eye on the VIP section, so like I saw people were there, but they were young girls, and I was like, yeah, I don't recognize these people, like they must be just like family of someone who's famous.
Yeah.
And then in the corner of my eye, I was like, who is that? I was like, I know that face. It was Derek Huff.
Crazy.
Derek Huff and his fiance. It was funny because I actually recognized the fiance first. I was like, oh, that looks like Haley Erbert or whatever. And then I was like, that's Derek Huff.
No way.
So yeah, I saw them. And then turns out Halsey was the VIP.
Oh, I feel like I saw
section.
that. Yeah,
and then turns out, guess what? We had no idea. Shawn Mendes was sitting below them. Such a scam. Such
Crazy.
a scam.
So you saw real celebrities this time.
Yeah, we did. Plenty. Let me tell you. So yeah, we saw Derek Huff, his fiance. She's kind of famous too. And then Halsey, and then some comedian. I think he was in Parks and Rec or Arrested Development, one of those. So he was famous too. We saw Derek Huff like throw. I think he bought like candy for people in the pit because they held up their phone for him, and then he left, and then he came back and like tossed some candy at them, and I was like, very nice.
Very nice.
And he was like really nice about people taking pictures with him and stuff. So I was like, but fair, he is like a D-list celebrity, so I was like, fair enough. But yeah, it turns out Shawn Mendes was there. But yeah, Harry put on a freaking phenomenal show, let me tell you. Oh my gosh, like so good. It was also his birthday was coming up, so like we sang him happy birthday, and he was like, oh. One thing that pissed me off though, so for one of his songs, I can't remember which one it is. Whatever, I think it was Kiwi. He likes to like shush the crowd and then have like one side make noise, the other side make noise, like whatever. So like one at a time. These people were not shushing, and he got to a point where he was like, shush. Like he was like, shh. Like, because he kept kind of just being like he was like going like kind of like down, so it was like everyone shut up, and people were just screaming. Yeah. And I just felt so bad for this man. I was like, this poor man is trying to do something for us, and we're just not letting him. So, but yeah, no, I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It was so
he had such a cute outfit too for you guys. I was like, that's right, they deserve it. That you went back to LA a second time for you. Yeah.
So very much worth it. He gave us, I think, an extra song. He gave us Medicine, very rare song. So yeah, I think he put on a great show. It was so cute. He was choking up when he because they lit up like the sign saying he sold out the Kia Forum 15 nights in a row, or overall 50 nights. It became 50 nights overall, but I think it would have been in a row had he not gone sick. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure the shows were sold out, or actually maybe they weren't because we got tickets. I don't know. Whatever. Either way, people are at the box office, so clearly they were sold out. Yeah. But yeah, so he got like a little emotional with that, and it was so cute. Like we did get so good seats.
Yeah, your seats were great.
Yeah, I was like, bro, are you kidding me? Absolutely, VIP clearly. Yeah. But yeah, and then getting home, it was a mess. Yeah. But like we took our time because like we're like, whatever, we have to take an Uber back. It's fine, like we have time, like we weren't rushing. But then like they kicked us out. They were like, we have to clean up. It's like fair, whatever. So they kicked us out from like the under the safety, and it's raining. It's pouring rain. We didn't account for this. So whatever, and then you have to so we were like trying to order an Uber. It was like $100 USD, and we were like, woohoo! But then we were like, okay, like whatever, let's walk, because even the place we were standing at wasn't even the right place. Apparently, they were like, you have to walk down that way if you want rideshare. So we were like, okay, so we had to walk all the way down there. We walk, no one's picking up our Uber. It goes down to like $50, $48, and like Nasia's phone's dying. right? She paid, and like the thing is, like she had her data on or whatever, so because she was paying for the plan, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. So like worst case, I could have turned on my phone, but I was like, at the end of the day, if no one's picking up our ride, it's not an issue of data or not. It's an issue of like how long are we gonna stay here? And it was like pouring rain. We were soaked. Whatever. So like we get to like this part. So like the rideshare area is like here. And we have to like walk down because the guy that was like trying to pick us up saying they closed down the road. They're not letting people into the rideshare zone anymore. So he wanted us to meet him like at the intersection before pulling up. So we're like, okay. So we stand there. Now she's on the phone with this guy, whatever. And then they're like, shut it down. Like we just see like, shut it down. We're like, what's going on? Like, what are we shutting down? So people are pulling out of the Kia Forum. Guess who comes out? Harry Styles.
No way.
I saw him. He waved to us. It was really cute. So we got to see him in the end.
That's awesome.
I feel bad. Nasty was on the phone, so she didn't like fully get to like take in that was him. She just kind of thought that was like someone just waving, whatever. But yeah, so it was him.
Nice.
We left,
wow.
and then, like,
give you the full experience.
Yeah. Granted, we were still in the rain for like hours. Nasty's phone died. Just as we had a Uber driver, we told him where we were. And like he was saying that he was in the parking lot now, and we were like, no, we're at the intersection. Like he could not find us. We were not finding him. Luckily, so I turned on my data because I was like, whatever, I'll call an Uber. For some reason, it's not working either. And then we see the car, and we're like, oh, that's the guy. So we get in the car, and he's like, Nasty, and we're like, yeah. So then turns out he still stayed with us, and he drove us
cute.
home.
Wow,
we got a Tesla, and it was a Tesla.
Wow.
And we made it home just in time. The next day we just kind of spent just lounging around, checking out LA because Odessa had never been. So she was looking at it, and then we went home. Funny enough, we didn't have to take anything through security.
Oh.
Or, like, we didn't have to take anything out. Like, they were like, don't take anything out.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Because I think they had a new one, because one line was like, it was like a new one, so you didn't have to take anything out.
I've heard of this.
Yeah, they even said no electronic. They're like, you don't have to take out your electronics or anything.
I've heard of this.
But then the other row, they told them, they're like, for this row, you have to take everything out.
Yeah.
Like, all your liquids and all that stuff. So I was like, sweet.
Score.
So, yeah, but granted, I did throw out some of my liquids already at that point, but whatever. Can't win them all. But yeah, overall, honestly.
Sounds like a great trip.
Yeah, honestly, one of my better ones. Like, I'd say, like, obviously still Greece is number one, but that's just because there was so much sun.
Yeah.
So much water.
Yeah.
So I was like, it just doesn't compare. But yeah, San Diego, phenomenal. Highly recommend. If you ever want to go, let me know. I'm down to go again because there's still so much to see. Because again, the days were still so short.
Yeah.
So like we couldn't cram everything in before it got like, because it'll still get cold at night because without the sun it's chilly. But yeah, so if you want to go back, let me know. But
wow, very nice.
Also, I realized we never addressed it, but yeah, my hair is braided. We do have a performance today, so get ready for it. But speaking of which, I think it's. Yes.
I don't know if you were going for it.
No, I was going for my Apple Watch. Crazy person.
I was like, I'm gonna ring it this week.
Okay. Well, anyways,
it's
now that we're here.
Everyone awake?
Song of the week, baby. Let's do it.
Do you want to go first or me?
Ooh, I'll go first.
Okay.
Actually. Oh. Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
So my new favorite song of the week is Matilda. Granted, I hated this song in his album. Well, my least favorite is Boyfriends.
I thought
What?
You said Matilda, my thought went to the musical, like that TikTok song. And I was like, okay, fair enough. That's a bit strange. Is that from Matilda the musical?
Oh, I understand.
Okay, now it makes more sense. Okay, yeah, very fair.
Yeah, no, Matilda by Harry Styles. I didn't like that song. Like, it was always, like, fine. It's a pretty song, whatever. But then he sang it live. I almost wept like a baby. Like, I was, like, tearing up, but, like, I didn't, like, a tear wasn't shed. But he sang it live, and then I've just never been able to hear the songs the same ever since. Now it just hits me every time, and I've just been playing it on repeat.
That happens to me all the time. Like, I'll go into a concert and be like, this is my favorite song. And there's been times where, like, I record that, because I love it, and I don't record the ones that I'm like, oh, whatever. And then I leave, and I love them more. Like, Dua Lipa's album, it pretty much is a flip-flop for me. Like, every song that I didn't fully record is now my favorite. Like, Prisoner, like, Fever, like, all, like, the other ones. Like,
I recorded every single song.
That's what I do, yeah.
He sang What Makes You Beautiful, and I was like, I love him for that. And then, Late Night Talking is still my favorite song. It's just the live version with the live trumpets is so much better than the recorded version. It just makes it that much harder. But it's just like Matilda, it's just like such a sweet little song. And like, coming back home, obviously, like, the weather and like time change and all that stuff, like it was all hitting me. So then like just having this song that I was like keep me afloat, loved it.
Nice.
Oh
no, yeah, hearing it live different always changes.
Yeah.
Same with like Giving On too. Like I went in like not knowing a lot, and now like all the ones I don't know, I'm like, oh my god, I love them so much. My song of the week is "What Would You Do" by Joel Corey, David Guetta, and Bryson Tiller. This is the one I showed you, and then we had this whole. So I showed Roxanne this song, and I was like, this sounds like something in my past. Like I know it's not sampled, I don't per se, but it sounds like something. And then we had this whole, like, we spent literally the whole car ride trying to figure out what it sounded like. And then we collectively came together, and it was, which one by Chris Brown? Oh my god, it was one of the ones by Chris Brown. We discovered it was, like,
Can you play me the
5 more hours, I think, or?
No, it was not 5 more hours. Was it more of like a question? Don't wake me
up! Yeah. That,
Don't wake me up.
We came to that, yeah. But it's so good. I don't know. Bryson Tiller has a bit of a chokehold on me. He's one of my favorite artists. He has one of my favorite albums of all time. Love that man. And I discovered this song because I'm going to his concert. Bryson Tiller, he's pretty good so far. No problems. Finally, an artist that's not problematic that Victory likes. And yeah, because I bought tickets to his concert in March, I believe. Or no, it's not even his concert. It's like some artist Nav, like I know him, I don't really know him, but Bryson Tiller is coming, and I was like, I'm there. I love Bryson Tiller, so I'm very excited to see him. And so I started listening to his music, and I found that, and I was like,
nice.
Bob.
Speaking of which, so we're going to LMA concert.
Yeah.
Don't speak to me for a second. So
I think I know.
No. You have no idea.
I think
the torment you put me through. So Victory owes me money, okay? And listen, I'm a gracious girl. If she needs time to pay me, she can take all the time in the world, okay? I spend $1 to e-transfer my best friend sometimes because I want her to have the money ASAP. When I all of a sudden get this horrible email, so we have this app called Splitwise, where you can keep track of all of the money that she owes me.
Yeah.
And the one time that she owes me money, she decides to pay me in cash. Fine, do what you need to do. Pay me however you want. Pay me in sweet, sweet kisses. That's okay.
Yeah.
But do you know what she does? She owes me $13. Do you know how much she gives me? $12. Okay? So she makes this big stink about she's going to give me that $1. She's going to give me that $1. Guess who settled our balance on Splitwise for $13? This guy. That's theft. You stole. Not only have I already donated $1 to e-transfer you to put money straight into your bank account, but you now, in return, settle up our balances and then slap me with how much I owe you for LMA. Like, riddle me that.
Yeah, I knew. I knew that. I remembered I owed you $1, but I didn't know how to change it so that I paid just $12 because I was gonna keep it as like a funny, silly joke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I could have just taken $1 off the LMA.
Yeah,
I can do that.
No,
I can't change it. You can't.
It's cool. You settled up. Where's the proof that you owe me $1?
I sent it to LA. Did it not arrive in time?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So convenient. Awfully convenient.
Yeah. I kind of did that with intent.
Yeah, and she paid me. I let her pay me $12 in change.
You love your change. You're the only person I know who loves change.
I used to when I didn't have my Presto card password, but I reset it, and yeah, I use my Presto card now.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. Well, I used up the change.
Okay. See, I told you. I know until it comes in handy.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
My wallet was bulging and you didn't empty.
Yeah. Well, clearly you didn't. So empty, you didn't have that extra $1 for me.
No, I think I like it. I like having this $1 between us. You never know when you're gonna get it. You never know when I'm gonna treat you with something nice with it.
You made me walk in negative 20-degree weather. She texted me. She said, "Hey, bum, have fun on your walk over."
Yeah. Hope your eyelashes freeze. Do your mascara before you go.
Yeah.
$1.
And then guess what? She's not going to Zabava tomorrow. So.
Just like firing.
Yeah. Why aren't you going to Zabava tomorrow?
I don't want to. It's too cold. It's
gonna be nice tomorrow.
I don't know.
I
want to leave. I just want to do nothing.
Okay.
This weekend.
Fine. Fine.
Next one I'll be there.
Well, next one is too late. It's Easter time.
Is it already?
Yeah, that's why you got to go to this one. It's the last one. Wow.
That'll be another one. I know. I'll give you a full answer tomorrow, but maybe your $1 tomorrow.
Sounds good. Maybe. Who knows? When I go in, I'll be like, Victory owes you that last $1. I'm paying them $24 to get in. Kidding, I'm paying them nothing because I'm playing in the volleyball tournament. So yeah, you guys will see me playing sports. See if I can cuss anyone. Don't miss out. Next week we got a fun vlog for you.
Heck yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe. Give this video a big thumbs up. Follow us on all our socials at 2GirlsBeingBros, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and then 2GirlsBeingBros _ on Instagram. That's a fact.
Heck yeah. Make sure to stick around. See you next week. And with that, and remember, kids, don't do too much.